Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the question and answer period. Just like to remind our guests that unrelated questions will be by this MC. So keep it on a JACAP footing to deal with IP, please. The floor is open. Okay, I'm being told that the question and answer period will be 10 minutes. Is the mic?
The microphone is open.
Okay. Please approach the mic. Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ricardo Suave, recording artist, songwriter. I must commend JACAP for putting on this fantastic function. Could I have a round of applause for JACAP? Also, the other entities involved, the Broadcasting Commission, and I have no questions, but I'm making these statements, Mr. Bennett. Thank you very much, sir. Please be patient. Yeah, mama. So we want to big up the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. Carlin Salmon, I was moved by your argument that says that intellectual property is Jamaica's oil. The Jamaica Constabulary Force for having that unit which will be enforcing the law, and the laws of the land must be enforced. And hearing the good news that the Payola demon will finally be exorcised and sent to the pit of hell from whence he came. Thank you. Blessings.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Just 2 points, not necessarily issues. One concerning the leaflet that was in the folder, the JACAP leaflet. You have, at the back of it, it says a song must have music/melody and words/lyrics. I mean, is that something that you're holding to? Because, I mean, clearly we do have songs without lyrics.
GM.
Can you expand on that definition for me?
Yes. Could you, Mr. Edwards, could you repeat the question, please?
No, I'm referring to the leaflet here, and it says a song must have music/melody and words/lyrics.
The mic.
Just to state that that booklet will be updated shortly. It's currently for our PR campaign. It's in the update stage, and you are correct, because poetry with underlining music is accepted at JACAP. Okay?
Oh, but okay, I hear your answer, but that still incorporates words. Yeah, give me that.
Let us be very clear. We operate in an international environment in which words have meanings. A song must have lyric and melody. It must be. It can't be a song otherwise.
So without lyrics, it's simply a recording?
We don't musical composition.
Oh, okay. No, good. Right, that's cleared up.
Okay.
Second point, would like to see, well, as somebody who has played and will continue to play recorded music of all genres in different for a usable guideline in terms of the licensing fees for JACAP. Whether it's a per event or overall thing, or yeah, I know it's a tire, but I didn't see anything in the kit that actually spells it out. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Shabazz. And this question is directed to Miss Carlin Salmon. Miss Salmon, how long has the public been aware that the library at the different radio stations been in existence for artists seeking airplay? Because I just learned that today.
No, it's part of the recommendations before the government for amendment to the law to make it mandatory for radio stations to have libraries. Some stations do, some of the older stations do, some stations don't. But we want to make it law that all music is managed by a program's library, a station library.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm Jamelia Ellis, and I'm from the Sound System Association of Jamaica. And I would like to say it's a good job that JACAP has been doing. However, I have one or two concerns. One of them is most pressing as it relates to acquiring permit. But I don't know who on the board would address this question.
Ask.
The question is, years gone, sound system operators has gone into a relationship with with PRS really. I think it was in the year of 1996, whereby sound system operators were accustomed to getting a blanket license because, you know, it's very expensive for each event for not only the sound system operators, but the club owners as well to get a one-time license that benefits them annually. So I want to know the status of that as it relates to JACAP. Who is going to?
The general manager will take that question.
Okay.
That is still in existence. We have our own trusts in regards to the public education campaign is to reach out to, I did not know that the sound system operators were back up and running. So we will reach out to you, and that tariff is still in place.
Another thing, as it relates to, no disrespect to jams, but I just want to show you the level of bureaucracy that exists within the music industry, and it's very frustrating. You raise a very good point as it relates to whether or not we exist, because for too long, there are several agencies that deal with different levels within the industry, and at times it sets us back. Because as you know, when somebody goes to KSAC to get a permit, when they go to jams to get a permit, it's almost as if they are running around in a circle, and people are complaining about the various agencies that they have to go to. So over the years, we have been lobbying for a council that can deal with more than one of these concerns. As it relates to the deputy soup of police, I realized that at some of the stations, they themselves are not even aware as to what the variations are with the various licenses. And at times, people are getting very flustered and they are really not getting the permit done because they really don't know how to handle the situation within the police force. And as it relates to the law, I get to understand there's a force order in place that states persons must get a jams license. I question the integrity of that order because I believe that JACAP is critical to us more so than jams. No disrespect to jams. I believe that all rights group should benefit and all rights society should equally be promoted. But when there is an enforcement on the law side where it relates to one license over the other, I don't take that lightly. So I believe that JACAP needs to lobby more to ensure that the law does not only enforce that you get the jams license, but also the JACAP license, because the JACAP, as somebody said earlier, is a primary rights, right? And jams is secondary. And when people go to these stations, they get very flustered. Thank you.
Hello.
Hold
Good
on,
afternoon.
Hold on a second.
Check two.
Okay.
Sorry, good afternoon. I didn't get your name, but you referenced the fact that commanding officers or police officers in the main are not fully aware of what obtains with respect to obtaining license. I must suggest that we have had force order publication to the wider police populace. However, we have gotten a situation where various stakeholders, including people from your end, other producers, promoters, and even rights holders who have met with us, and the hierarchy at the JCF recently dispatched a document in the form of a circular to all commanding officers who are now in full possession of that document. And it stipulates how they should go about performing under this new arrangement.
How recent is that? Because this that I mentioned, it just happened in June or probably
Yes,
May.
we
How
were
recent?
aware of the anomaly as it relates to the force order publication and where it coincided with the law in particular. And because we are committed to full enforcement of IPR rights, the reality is the command at JCF met with the rights holders too. JAMS was there. I think JACAP was present. And they have devised a document which was circulated just recently, it was, yes. But all commanders are now in possession of it.
One last thing,
yes.
especially as it relates to the law, I noticed that there was some recommended fee, especially as it relates to awareness, and there is more need to aware the public. I would beg that they do more consensus before they confirm that the fee will be effectively 1 million, 2 million, you name it, because there are persons earning and there are persons lose who are not doing so well. So I think the fee also is somewhat high. But I understand the importance because stealing music is like stealing a property. So on the other side, you need to level the playing field as it relates to the regulations and how much those found in breach should pay. Thank you, though. Thanks for...
Yes, I think that this little exchange and the comments that are made here is very, very important and should be looked at in a more detailed way because it is an untidy situation. There are established sound systems and there are smaller sound systems, community sound systems. There are major events that are dances, and then there are community events. And almost every week, I find myself, as a member of parliament, have to intervene in a situation. So what you find, for example, within these communities, they like to have, this is their way of interacting and creating an event in the community. They claim they use it to raise funds. Sometimes they don't really raise funds because it's not an event that they charge admission. They sell liquor. And sometimes when they sell the liquor at the end of it, they really don't make any money. But to them, it's fulfilling that need to interact in the community. But they are not allowed to do these events unless, one, they are given the police permit. The Noise Abatement Act is the first hurdle that they face when they go to the police. And the Noise Abatement Act needs to be amended and amended quickly. When I was a minister, the police gives a permit, I write a letter asking for an extension. But that is still not the right way. We need to sort it out. But in amending that piece of legislation, there are about 5 or 6 other pieces of legislation that will have to be amended. We need to pull that together. A team must pull together, and I think we should review that composition and get it going. Although we're talking about zoning, that's another long-term thing. But we need to really do something quickly to sort that out. But apart from the issue of the permit from the police, because they only give up to a certain time depending on the day, they have to go to the parish council and pay a fee. Then they should pay a fee to JACAP. They should pay a fee to JAMS. So when they finish paying all those fees, they might as well not have the event. Yeah. Because they cannot afford, because the fees add up. So there need to be a more coordinated way and a one-stop, maybe, a one-stop shop situation where one fee is paid and then there's an arrangement where the fee is divided in a particular way. And I think in the early stages, we were looking at that when I was with JACAP. How can you have a one-stop? So you can't have an event and you can't be issued a license unless you pay all the fees. But you need a more coordinated approach to dealing with the fees. It's an untidy situation, and I think all the entities that issue licenses and the police need to sit down, and the parish councils need to sit down and come up with a more coordinated approach.